Welcome to episode 0 of Along the Journey.
In today's episode, we're going to introduce ourselves, Capy's journey, this podcast, and the journey and what drives us in terms of building the app.
I guess to start our intros, Rohan, you wanna introduce yourself first?
Yeah, so my name is Rohan. I'm an undergraduate at University of Maryland. I'm studying neuroscience, and I've personally taught mindfulness meditation to thousands of seniors, college students, and adults across the DMV area. And so mindfulness is something I'm really passionate about.
Yeah, and I'm Olivia. I'm a junior CS student also at UMD, and as for my backstory, I've been building, like, apps and games since my freshman year of high school, really, and, yeah, throughout college, I've deployed multiple apps to the Children's National Hospital in Washington, DC. So, yeah, I guess, like, to get into our first topic today, you probably don't know what Capy's journey is, maybe you do, but, to describe a little bit on what Capy's journey is, we are building a gamified mindfulness app for kids, and we're actually live on the App Store already. And you're probably wondering, why do we need Capy's journey? Rohan, why do we need Capy's journey?
Cappy's journey is designed for kids, and we need Cappy's journey because kids need to have a way to live a happy, emotionally regulated, focused life in a world that's filled with all this technology, all these screens, these iPads. And the idea is that we don't only want to take the iPads away from the kids, we want to meet them where they are and teach them mindfulness meditation, which is a really ancient practice with clinical validation. And it's something that we want to bring to kids in a way that's fun.
Yeah, and, like, personally, I feel like as a kid growing up, like, I really would've needed something like Capy's journey, but like, even now, and especially when, like, we were both young kids, there was nothing like this. All we had was, like, maybe Angry Birds or, like, miscellaneous games, and, like, mental health apps were kind of something that were reserved for adults only, and they honestly, like, mostly still are. Like, none of them are super catered to kids, which is why which is why we're building this, and that's why we're dedicated and passionate to building it.
Yeah, so let's jump into our journey building the app so far. So, how did it start and what's going on now?
Ooh, it's as of now, like, when we're recording this, it's been, like, a little a little over a year since it was, like, ideated and, like, since development and, like, stuff started. But, yeah, it really started as a passion project and has morphed into something so incredibly in depth and something that's so professional and just, like, fully built out, and, yeah, like, do you wanna describe how our journey began?
Yeah, so in terms of the app, I kind of was teaching mindfulness meditation to different people, to seniors, adults, and even college students at university. And I realized like there was no focus in the mindfulness world on kids. And so I thought the best way of reaching kids what would to be on technology, on iPads, on screens. And so that was the birth of Capy's journey as an idea. And then I met Olivia in college, and Olivia's an amazing developer. And so we just started building from there.
Yeah, so we make a great team. A lot of when we introduce ourselves to people and Rohan says he's like neuroscience and I say I'm like computer science and I do design as well, people are like, "Oh, that makes sense. That's why you guys are the ones building this." So yeah, it's been a super cool journey. And like one of the things that like our school uniquely offers is this program called the Hatchery, and it's run by the Mokhtarzada brothers who founded like Rocket Money and various other different startups and companies that have done extremely well nowadays. So they mentored us throughout like this past school year, which has been like super, super fulfilling, super important to us. And yeah, for me, it's been a great experience. What do you think, Rohan?
Yeah, just like the mentorship over last year, it's definitely made me like a more competent creator, have more perspective when I'm building this app. Cause
Yeah.
otherwise, without the experience and the expertise of these seasoned creators and developers,
Mhm.
I don't think I would have been able to approach the different features and different content that we're posting on the app, with as much in depth and thought that I'm putting into it. So yeah, the
No,
mentors definitely helped a
I
lot.
1000% agree with that, and, like, low key, we were just 2 lost kids building this when we started.
Yeah.
Like, we had a decent amount built out, but now, like, coming out of the program, I think both of us have become such, like, direction how do I say this? Like, we found, like, the direction that we wanna go in, and we're going, like, full steam ahead, and, like, we just hope that, like, people enjoy the app, and we've gotten some good testimonials so far, which has been super fulfilling.
Yeah, like if a parent ever sends us an email, we're totally like willing to and excited to meet the parents' needs and really build alongside whatever feedback we're getting. And that's something I'm really excited in terms of the future of Cappy.
Yeah, exactly. And, like, as for, like, more about what our mission is going forward and, like, now, what motivates us to keep building and, like, the core values of Cappy's journey, we're really trying to meet kids where they are in the current day and age. As Rohan, mentioned earlier, we're not trying to, like, take their devices away because that's too drastic of an approach, and, like, we're moving towards, like, an interesting era of technology where it's gonna be extremely prevalent, like, everywhere. It's gonna be kind of hard to avoid. So, that's kind of like we're trying to meet kids where they are instead of taking these devices away.
Yeah, totally. And like, I feel like nowadays the world is just becoming increasingly like attention focused and attention
Yes.
grabbing and stimulation saturated. And
Yes.
in that in that world, I think it's super valuable to teach kids the ways of controlling their own attention, controlling
Mhm.
their own mind, and just approaching the world with an happy, collected view.
Yeah. No, I 100% agree. I've seen so many kids that are just, like, drawn to their devices, like, it has some sort of, like, internal grasp on their soul or something, and, like, it's super sad to see because me and Rohan both like, the era that we grew up in was, like, very unique because it was, like, iPads and, like, phones and stuff were, like, in our lives, but, like, since
Mhm.
they had been more recently introduced, they weren't, like we weren't, like, reliant on them, like, we had them, but it wasn't something that we were necessarily using every single day or, like, involving our whole attention, and, like, I think having that perspective on, like, our current day and age of technology has been, like, super helpful in, like, informing our decisions and everything. Like, what do you think on that?
Definitely agree, and I think what Cappy's journey is trying to do is just change the relationship that kids have with their screens. Like,
Yeah.
as you said, we're not taking away the screens. We're just trying to make screen time into something that's actually good for the kid, as well as something that they'll enjoy. And
Mhm.
so cultivating mental health and mindfulness and presence as the kid grows up, there's just an unlimited amount of possibilities in terms of the value that that can bring to a kid's life, so we're
Yeah,
excited.
exactly. So, I guess bringing that to, like, where we currently are filming this
Mhm.
podcast, you're probably wondering, like, why are we making this? Why are we making along the journey? Well, first of all, we're both college students, as we mentioned, and we really like want to learn from people and parents as well as like professionals. So we're planning on like introducing like guests, like mental health professionals, parents to pick their brains about certain topics and get their point of view because we don't have kids. We're, like, 19 and 21, like, we're not in a state to have kids right now, and, yeah, we wanna get their perspective and combine that with our perspective to really learn what it's like being a parent, what it's like working with kids on a professional basis, and stuff like that.
Yeah, just adding a little more, like, we're gonna explore mindful parenting and focus on, like, what mindfulness looks like in kids because that's a topic that we think is underexplored, and we really want to share what we're learning along with you all, so,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. Well, with that, I think that's everything we wanted to cover today. It's just a quick episode to introduce us as well as our journey, so to speak, and yeah, what really drives us. So, yeah, thank you guys so much for joining us on the first episode of Along the Journey.
And be sure to stay tuned for more episodes in the future. There's going to be plenty of special guests to come, and definitely check out Capy's Journey in the App Store.